All right, here we go. Here we go. A special edition of the post-game show. This is the home of the diehard Knicks fan. If you're a diehard Knicks fan, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. This is the home for you where we talk about Knicks news, Knicks rumors, interviews, and post-game live analysis featuring live callers from you, the fan. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. CP from KnicksFanTV. My man Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. Special guest with us today. He was a member of the New York Knicks for 5 seasons. Led the Knicks to the 1999 NBA Finals. And yes, he went toe-to-toe with Kobe. We got Chris Childs in the building. Chris, how you doing, man?
Yo. I'm good, everybody. I'm good. I'm blessed.
Glad to hear it, man. So like we said, man, thanks again for giving us the time. And we really appreciated the fan base. They wanted to hear from you. We wanted to hear from you. So thanks again for giving us a couple minutes.
Not a problem. Anything that I can do to give back to the fans. It's really my first time in a long time even connecting.
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. That's what I mean. So it's a beautiful thing that we're here to connect. So JL, let's kick it off with the questions, man.
All right. What's going on, Chris?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right, you can still hear me? All right, cool. So, you started off like a short stint with a team that we won't really mention right here on the show, right?
Little more volume. I can barely hear you.
Talk a little bit louder.
You can't. Okay, let me see. Can you hear me now better? Is that?
Yeah.
All right, man. So you started off undrafted, and you had a successful stint with a team that we will not mention before you got to the Knicks, and you were very successful there. So I just would like to know, how did you deal with battling with injuries when you first got to the Knicks, and like battling for minutes with Charlie Ward trying to get into that starting lineup, especially after having a successful stint with the previous team?
Well, the thing is, when I got to New York, after leaving Jersey, I had a talk with Ernie Grunfeld when they came after me during free agency. And, he told me that the position wasn't promised, but in my mind, I've waited 5 years and then, in the CBA and then another couple years in Jersey to hear my name called in Madison Square Garden. That was like a dream come true. Even though I came from the West Coast, I was always a Clyde Frazier fan.
Hey.
So when I found out that I was going to New York and was playing in the Mecca, it was my job. I was going after it, regardless of who else was there. I have a lot of respect for Charlie and all the other guys, but I was coming to get that spot.
Of course. That's what you come to do. Now, did you guys play one-on-one a lot, you and Charlie?
Well, we had times where, after practice, guys were playing one-on-one, but Charlie and I, at the time when I first got to New York, after leaving Jersey, I was a scorer. And Charlie was, a playmaker at the time, setting up the offense and stuff. And so I had to, change my game up to complement everybody else. So I sacrificed, my scoring and stuff because all I wanted to do was win. And Charlie was the same way.
So what you're saying is you beat Charlie one-on-one.
I beat all of them one-on-one, to be honest. It didn't matter who you lined up. John, Spree, any of them. They all can get it.
Facts. Now, Chris, man, 99 was a special season. It was certainly a Cinderella run that was captivated by so many special moments. So I just want to go through a couple of these moments and just give me a take on, what was the play and what was the reaction by you and the guys in the locker room. Let's start with Allen Houston, Game 5 of the 99 first round against our hated Miami Heat. We down by 1 with 4 seconds left. Draw up the play, man. What exactly happened?
Man, we run that play. It's like a diamond. You got a guy at the bottom, a guy at the top, and 2 on the wing, the guy taking it out, and we ran that play 100 times. And usually it gets Allen a jump shot. But Miami knew us so well that as soon as Allen caught the ball, they jumped out at it. And Allen, being the player he was and is, went to the basket, which he hardly ever did.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So kudos to him for realizing that they were jumping out. And, man, it seemed like the same shot that Kawhi hit in that series, that's what Allen shot did. It bounced and went in. And the jubilation that after a hard-fought series, it's hard to even describe, man. We were just glad to get by those guys because we hated them.
Yeah, I hated them too, man. That series really brought the emotions out of the fan base. That was the play. I remember exactly where I was, what time of day, a Sunday. I mean, I remember everything about that game and how it all went down. And
there's nothing wrong with hating the team. I mean, why would you go and play a sport and you like the people, then you're not going to give your all?
Facts.
They disliked us, we disliked them, and that was good for basketball.
Yeah. And as you said, that play, they had kind of read that play before you guys executed it. One of the things I saw Charlie Ward say on that game, on that series, and just going up against the Heat period, was that it was almost a carbon copy of what you guys were running because Pat Riley had kind of built that team as a carbon copy of the Knicks. So it was kind of like the same plays were being executed.
Absolutely. And it was just a matter of who wanted it more, who's going to imply their will the most. And I mean, we battled, and I have respect for them, but I don't like them either. That's just the way it is. I respect, as a man, I got to respect what they brought to the table. But as a player, I couldn't stand them.
I still can't stand him, man. Still can't stand him to this day.
I can't believe that. Yo, I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, man. I even had trouble even rooting for D Wade. As great as a player as he was, man, I had trouble rooting for that Miami Heat team, man. As great as a player as he was.
I felt it too. I liked you coming out of Marquette, but I'm like, damn, why did you go to the Heat?
To the Heat, man. To the Heat, man. So the next moment, obviously, the 4-point play. Knicks versus Pacers, Game 3 at the Garden. Down by 3 with 11 seconds left. Draw up the play for us, Chris.
It was the same play that we ran, but they double-teamed Allen. Allen came down from a screen from LJ, and they double-teamed, so LJ popped back to the ball on the baseline. I think it was in front of the Pacers bench.
Right in front of the Pacers bench.
Yeah, he was at least, 30? Well, that's what Steph Curry shoots from now, but 40 feet, at least 35. And I can't believe, I think it was Antonio that was guarding him, either him, one of the Davis brothers was guarding him, and I'm like, I know they go back off, and we got a shot, but LJ shot it like he shoots a regular 3, and when that thing went in, man, I had to go to point guard mode and let LJ know, look, we got to make this free throw. All we did was tie the game. And if you ever watch the film, he's all excited, and I'm getting ready to get excited, but then I go to point guard mode, and I calm him down.
Yeah.
And the one thing about LJ that a lot of people don't understand, he sacrificed a lot for the team. And I was happy for him at the time, and I was able to talk to him throughout the times that we played together, and he would accept it, whether he was playing good or bad. So I knew I can go to him and calm him down, which he accepted it and was able to knock down the free throw, and the Pacers was history.
Was that the greatest game or the most electric you ever felt Madison Square Garden?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt, man. It felt like after he hit the shot, and like the roof was getting ready to come off. When the fans jumped up, it felt like the decimeter, whatever they had with the football games, with the noise, whatever. I think we busted that thing.
Do you remember what the vibe was like in the locker room after that game?
You know what, man? We were excited, but we wanted something more. We were greedy at that time. I wish we would have been greedier throughout the whole season, and we wouldn't have had that, all the troubles of trying to get in. But
yeah.
We just wanted more, man. And, like I said, I was so happy for him because of his back injuries and all the sacrifices he made offensively for other people to succeed, and for him to hit a big shot like that was dope.
It was big. It was big, man. But, you know, on top of 99 being a historic season, it really didn't start out that way. I mean, you guys were really up against the odds from the jump. I mean, we had the lockout shortened season. We had two major trades, two major pillars of that team of the 90s Knicks were gone. We traded John Starks for Latrell Sprewell. We also traded Charles Oakley for Marcus Camby. The lockout prevented you guys from really trying to get together in training camp in a more formal, organized way. You started the season off. Injuries took a toll on some guys, Patrick Ewing, Latrell Sprewell, and you didn't really find your groove. What was it that really turned things around and kind of pushed you guys into the playoffs?
I think towards the last part of the season, I think the last, I kind of remember, I think it was 20 games or 16. And all we said was one game at a time, give ourselves a chance because we can catch who was in front of us. I'm not sure if it was Detroit or somebody. And we got a little healthier, and then collectively we're able to finally, put our egos aside and everybody say, you know what, we don't care who leads us in scoring, who leads in rebounds. The main thing is to get a W. And I think we won like 11 out of 16 or something like that. And all we want to do is get in. We get in, we got a chance to beat anybody.
That's a fact, man. And you guys really picked up steam and momentum. Who would you say was the glue guy of that 9-9 squad? Who's the guy that really brought you guys together in the face of adversity and through the tough times?
Quite honestly, normally you would pick a player, and I would put LJ in that era, but Jeff Van Gundy.
That's my coach.
You know what I mean? He would, as a coach, I have the utmost respect for him because he wouldn't let us give in to feeling sorry for ourselves. And we seen how hard he worked and how hard he studied and to get us prepared. It wasn't anything that he did wrong. All he can do is give us the game plan.
Right.
And we got to go out there and execute. We weren't. So I think he was the glue to keep us focused, to keep us, in tune to that all we got to do is win one game. And the next game, we win the next game and just keep building that way. And with him still having confidence in us as players and as a team, we'll hopefully get ourselves focused again and go out there and make things happen.
Van Gundy was a great coach for us, man. Real great coach.
Yeah, he can't fight worth damn, but he was a good coach.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But who would you consider the bigger rivalry of your time there? Was it the Heat or was it the Pacers?
It was the Heat. It's not even close. The Pacers, they were very physical, but we knew that they were just a half court team, and if we got Spree and Allen in a full court, that we could beat them. But the Heat, for some reason, well, with Riley knowing our system, we knowing theirs, they were the most bitter rivalry, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going to Miami and shutting the fans up.
Yeah. Which play on that Heat team got under your skin the most? Was it Tim Hardaway? Because you guys.
Yeah. I already been mouthing off lately. He said something in an interview lately saying that if he saw me on the street, we would fight.
Whoa.
Which is a lie. But it's cool that he says that, and he lucky that I got into it with Kobe because I got warned not to get into any more fights because he was next on the list.
Tim Hardaway was on the list, Jay Ellis.
He was on the list.
He was.
Yeah, I know he felt some type of way when we drafted Tim Hardaway Jr.
I know.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I know he felt some type of way when we drafted Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, he played a little dirty, so, a few elbows here and there. But like I said, I don't mind the elbows below the shoulders, but above the shoulders, we got a problem.
Facts. Now, since we talking about the physicality of that era and that rivalry, let's go to Knicks Heat Game 5, the '96 NBA playoffs. Charlie Ward, the most mild-mannered of mild-mannered men, gets flipped over by P.J. Brown and a brawl ensues. What was going through your head when all that went down, man?
That was a tough one because I played with P.J. But he had on a different uniform at that time. So luckily I was on the court, and I was just trying to get in there and get, my teammate out of there. And then Snake in the grass, Tim Hardaway, comes up behind me and nudges me in the foul. So I turn around, and I see all the other guys coming, but I don't like having my back to all the action because that's how you get snuck and put to sleep. So I was just trying to get Charlie out of there, but I just hate that it happened like that because honestly, that team that we had then, we was gonna do a lot of damage.
Wow. So you thought that team was the team rather than the 9-9 team. The 9-6 team was the team.
Yeah, that team was mentally tough. That was a mentally tough team. So we had a really good chance that year, but like I said, things happen when you play the Heat, and the new rule of coming off the bench, which I know was brought to case because of Kermit Washington back in the day, hitting Rudy Tomjanovich. So I understood that, but it was a lot of guys that had a pinky toe over the line and got suspended. So
it was crazy, man. We lost Ewing, H2O, John Starks, and LJ. I mean, how did you guys kind of? What was the vibe like in the locker room after that game? After that whole thing went down,
we were disappointed, but the mental toughness of that game was next man up, and my mindset, I was trying to go out there and get 40, because I was like, well, I got to score more, and which I did in the first half. The second half, it didn't go that way like I wanted it to, but we were just mentally tough, and they just had a little more talent on the court than we did, and I think we ran out of gas.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, we would end up going to lose Game 6 and Game 7. But as you said, Game 6, I believe you had a great game, 20 points and 9 assists. That was big. That was big, man. I'm still disappointed that we lost that series based on not having those guys for Game 6 and Game 7. But, what
right, yeah, we wasn't at full strength, and if we would have won, it would have been a blessing, and it would have been kudos to everybody else that had to step up. But to be honest, they just had more talent on the court at the time than we did.
Facts. Now let's skip to 9-8. We had Knicks versus Heat Game 4. First off, your defense on Tim Hardaway was great because the game was still within reach. But then off the rebound, we have LJ and Alonzo Mourning going after it. Next thing you know, Jeff Van Gundy's on the floor trying to stop the fight. What was going through your head when Van Gundy jumped in the whole mix?
First, when I first saw, and LJ was, he was a Golden Glove back in the day, so I don't know what happened at that time when him and Alonzo were slap boxing because, they didn't really get into it. But I saw Jeff come off the bench, and I was like, oh, man. And then he slid down like he fell off a horse in the Kentucky Derby. And so all I saw him down there holding his leg, so I was like, I got to get him up out of there before he gets hurt. And I just went head first to, snatch him out of there. And, that was just part of it. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we really did not like each other. I mean, literally, it could have been like the old movie Slapshot when the puck went down and they just start fighting.
Just start brawling.
Just start going at it. I mean, I know a lot of guys wanted to do that. I did, at times. But it was just that type of rivalry. And that particular game, I knew something was going on because a couple times down the court, LJ posting up, Alonzo posting up, it was some elbows through. So I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think LJ said something to the ref to the effect that, listen, you got to control this. And the ref didn't respond. So I kind of figured that something might, go left. And it did.
That's crazy. And the crazy thing is, Jay Ellis, is that after the game, the Knicks still huddled up for a team prayer. like it was nothing, man.
You gotta pray after that. Pray after that.
Pray that we don't knock them out.
Pray that you don't knock them out, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, we stayed doing that. Charlie implemented a lot of that, and a lot of guys, enjoy the spiritual part of the game of basketball and still giving glory to the man above, and it kept you humbled, and you were able to calm down once you did that. If you didn't pray after a battle like that, you might go to the bus looking for the player to finish what was started.
It's true.
That was always a good thing.
True indeed, man. All right, let's get to the one. A lot of the fans, they were like, make sure you ask him about Kobe.
Yeah.
What happened here? We're creeping up on the 20th anniversary of this altercation. First and foremost, what happened?
Well, we ended up getting cross-matched. Allen was guarding him, but Allen took a shot, and so my job as a point guard is to get back. So I end up with Kobe. So we're running, down the paint. He popped me with an elbow. I'm like, okay, that's how it's going to play. So we end up going back down the other end, come back down again. He popped me again. So I look at the ref. I know the ref name to this day, Monty McCutcheon.
Oh,
I said, Monty, you go do, because Monty, I knew Monty in the CBA.
okay.
So I called him by his first name. I said, you go take care of this. And he shrugged his shoulders like, what you want me to do? So I was like, okay, I'll take care of it. So we go around the pick. He popped me again. And so I push him. Kobe's 6'6". I was only 6'3". So he walked up on me. I had to, nudge him with the head just to get some distance. And he threw another little chicken elbow that missed. And at that time, I had enough. And I was like, okay, I don't want to knock him out. Because if I knocked him out, I'd still be suspended. I just wanted to pop him.
Right.
To let him know. You know how you got a little brother and you like, hey, man, take this with you.
Just a wake-up call. Just a chin check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just a chin check.
Don't think it's soft over here.
Yeah.
And so now he gets it. But I think I helped him. Because after that, he started lifting weights and doing Sprite commercials.
He was motivated. He was motivated after that one, man.
Yeah. I seen him get into it with Mike and Reggie and stuff. I'm like, okay. I had a imprint on his toughness.
I remember that, man. I remember that. JL, the funniest thing about it is when Kobe hits him with the forearm, you could see Chris like, what? And then catch him with the bop, bop. then you got Shaq and Patrick getting into it a little bit. And one thing about Patrick, even though he never really threw hands like that back in the day, every skirmish of his career, he was always involved. Like, he was always in the mix. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then you got Spike standing up. He the only one standing up in the crowd. You could make Spike out from a mile away. That was crazy.
The orange, he got on the orange, neon orange or whatever. Yeah. But Patrick, that's that Georgetown mentality.
That's our guy, man.
That's that Georgetown mentality, because I remember a buddy of mine, Mark Tillman, played for Georgetown, and he was telling me about the Georgetown mentality. So Patrick brought that to the Knicks, and he was always a protector. Oak, same way. So we, it was just one of those things, spur of the moment. I didn't go into it thinking I was going to do that, but I had just got fed up and had enough, and the young fella tried the wrong guy that day.
Chris Childs putting the GOATs to the test. And the last one from the physicality standpoint, a lot of people forgot that you and MJ got into it. What happened with that, man?
Yeah, MJ was, a lot of people didn't see it, but MJ was dirty.
Yeah.
He'll grab his shorts. Like I said, I'm okay with anything below the shoulders, but if you watch the film, he bowled me in the back of my head on a rebound. Then he lied and said that I decked him earlier in the game. That's completely false. He lied about that. But when he ran after me, I'm getting ready to square up because I'm like, you ain't gonna hit me first. I'm gonna hit first.
Facts.
And that's why I threw the ball at him. But that's one that I wish that I would have took off on him. I really do. And then we end up, we never squashed it, but we end up seeing each other and playing golf years later in Miami. When Oak would come down, we hooked up and played golf, and we didn't even talk about that because I was still in same mode of, you get out of line, we're going to fight on this golf course.
Even on the links. Even on the links, you can still get it, man.
There's some Caddyshack out there.
All right, JL, let's get to the Spurs.
Oh man, I have a feeling I already know where you're gonna go with this. But what was your feeling? Going to the finals against the Spurs with no Ewing and no LJ.
The Spurs was tough, man, because we had lost Pat, and we came in. We had Marcus Camby and LJ was real banged up. I was banged up, and those guys were just, you have to give it to them. They were too big. They were playing volleyball up there, tapping it back and forth. So it was a tough series, a tough matchup for us because we lost one of our bigs, and they killed us on the boards. I don't think we ever got our footing and recovered after game one. We ended up getting a game, but it just wasn't meant to be. I don't like making excuses. We had to go with the guys we had, but we definitely were undermanned, and they were a better team.
Yeah, man, I can imagine it would be a whole different ball game if Captain was there with LJ, especially considering the series that LJ had.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You can't, Dad, you still can. I said I would imagine that the game would have gone completely differently if the Captain and LJ.
Yeah, if we had you and an LJ, maybe the series would have went a little bit differently.
Yeah, I like Patrick being there, and that had we could have moved LJ to the 3, played Marcus at the 4, and Patrick at the 5. Took him people they lineup because LJ could have guarded Sean Elliott, and then we'd have probably put Camby on Dave and Patrick on Tim, so we'd had a better matchup. And then we could have went big and had Allen Sprewell at the 1, Allen at the 2. I could have came off the bench. Charlie could have came. It just changed up the lineup to complement, the bigs. That we would have had a better combination to deal with their size.
Did you feel like that would be the last time you went to the finals?
Did you feel that like that would have been the last time you guys would have went to the finals?
I didn't think it would have been because I think having those guys on the team for a full training camp and getting back, but they decided to go another route, and that was that last run. Hopefully they can bounce back and get some guys in there that are willing to sacrifice their own personal goals for the team goal. Just go out there and battle and compete, man. I know there's different, the rules are different, but it doesn't mean you can't go out there and touch someone.
Yeah. Now, so how long did it take you to get over that loss? Do you still think about it, or?
How long does it what?
How long did it take for you to get over that championship loss to the Spurs?
You know what? I'm still not really over it. I deal with it, making it there because, they remember, only the people that are true basketball fans remember who takes second. They just remember who take first. But true story, after that season, I left and went on vacation, and I went to Hawaii. I was getting married, and I go to the golf course to play golf, and I come out the clubhouse. Who's walking in? David Robinson.
Oh, wow.
And we just lose to these guys, and he's like, "Hey, can I join you?" I'm like, man, really?
No, you can't join us, man.
Yeah, I got, and Dave's a nice dude, but I said, yeah, you can join us. So we get out there and play, man. I hit my ball so fast, I left.
Go on.
I didn't want to see that, but yeah, that's just what happens, man. You never fully get over it. You just accept it that, you didn't make it happen that year.
It's tough, man. It's tough. So now, in the middle of the 2001 season at the trade deadline, you get traded to the Raptors. What did that feel like? You gave 5 solid seasons to the Knicks, went to the finals with that team in '99. What happened in that day? How did you find out you were traded, and how did you feel about that?
Man, I was hurt. I was crushed, to be honest, because the deadline was at midnight. I was in Hackensack, New Jersey at Celebrities, a barbershop that Derek Coleman owned. I used to get my hair cut by my man Ali. And I was in the chair because it was late. I said, let me go. It was a blizzard, I think, too. It was snowing real bad. And I went up there, to hang out, talk, whatever. It was 11:59. I was in the barber chair and got the call that I was traded to Toronto.
Damn.
60 more seconds, I would have still been a Knick.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's
So I was crushed, man.
At the
So,
buzzer.
you know, I was like, okay, until I got to the city, to Toronto, and I was like, oh, okay. Yes, the Caravana is going down.
That's right. That's right, man. The Caravana vibes is always good, man.
Yeah, shout out to T.O.T. Dot. Yeah,
Of
they're
course.
doing things there.
Of course.
But I'm a Knick, man,
Yeah.
and then we end up having to play those guys.
Right.
And so I had mixed emotions about that, but I'm on a different team now, so I got to give them the blues. But it was hard seeing those guys on that bench, seeing them shoot around because they shoot around and we come in, so we cross paths and give the hugs and handshakes and whatnot. So, but Oak was like, man, we ain't shaking nobody's hand, man. We ain't, we ain't doing none of that. So, Oak, I shook a few hands, man. Don't be mad. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. Who would you say was the top 3 point guards? You faced it, there was a lot of solid point guards, a lot of Hall of Fame point guards in the 90s. You had John Stockton, you had the Glove, Gary Payton, the Hardaways, Tim Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, you had Jason Kidd. I mean, you even had guys like Terrell Brandon, who was a nice player. In his
man.
Prime. Who would you say is your top 3, the toughest that you ever had to face?
That's very hard to say, man. But let me give a shout out to Gary Payton. We getting ready to be in-laws. My son is getting ready to marry his daughter.
Oh, get out of here!
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's my brother, my in-law. So shout out, Gary. You in the top 4. I can't. Yeah, you in the top 3. But anyway,
that has to be the gulliest grandfathers ever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So we both 50. So we go play some half court 1-on-1.
Okay.
But man, people don't give him that credit, man. You say AI, but AI was a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, Terrell Brandon was tough, man, because he had the herky-jerky style. My boy Rod Strickland was the truth.
Rod, true.
He was the truth. John Stockton wasn't like a difficult guard to guard because it was pick and roll. You needed help. Kevin Johnson was a monster.
KJ.
Back in the day, and I was able to play against Magic at the end of his career. But off the back, man, Terrell Brandon and Rod Strickland don't get the credit they deserve, man.
True indeed.
Those cats were the real deal.
Absolutely, man. Couple more rapid fire questions before you go, Chris. How you looking on time, by the way, Chris? Just keep.
No, we good.
Okay.
Right.
On those 90s teams, who was like the team jokester? Like who would always, do the pranks and everything on that team?
Probably me. I was a comedian. Then we had the end of my stint in New York, Rick Brunson.
Okay.
He was a clown, but it was mostly me.
And any stories you could share on that you did?
I can't really put them out there like that, but I have couple funny stories about John Starks.
Okay.
Oh, tell that.
Yeah. We need to hear that.
Yeah. And John, he gonna tell me, he gonna say, no, that wasn't John. It's true, bro. I was there. So we used to go to dinner together, me, John, Patrick, and Oak and LJ when we got into town. So we used to go to, when we went to Cleveland, there was a mall and a Ruth Chris. That was our favorite restaurant. So we're all sitting down and getting ready to order. And John was like, yeah, man, I think I'm going to have the lobster. So the guy came and, bring us the menus. And he said, yeah, hey, I want the lobster, but I want my lobster off the bone. And I'm like, you want your lobster off the bone? The lobster don't have a bone, John.
Yeah, right.
It has a shell, right? So then a little kid comes up and says, oh, Mr. Starks, you're my favorite player. Can I please have your autograph? John's like, yeah, kid, no problem. I'll give you your autograph, give me a pen. He was like, what's your name? He said, my name is Mark, and I spell it with a C. So John spelled his name C-A-R-K, Clark, instead of M-A-R-C. So just off the dome, those are two of the ones that really stand out.
That's funny, man. And we hoping to get John on the show, so we definitely gonna bring that up with him too.
Yeah, bring it up to him, but he go deny it. But I promise you, I didn't make that up. It's definitely true.
Absolutely, man. Who was the best trash talker on that team? I would have to think you and John would have to be up there. But who was the best trash
me,
talker?
John. Well, you know Oak.
Yeah,
Oak
of course. Yeah.
Oak talked a lot of trash. LJ didn't really talk a lot of trash unless it was brought to him. But probably me, Starks, and Oak.
Okay.
And Herb Williams used to talk trash in practice.
What? Okay.
You're lying.
Yeah, Herb. We call Herb School. School used to talk a lot of trash in practice.
That's funny, man.
Talk about, man, if y'all didn't get y'all sleep last night, y'all went out. Y'all better not guard me.
That boy Herb was a long tenured Knick, man, even after his playing days. Shout out to Herb, man. I bumped into Herb in Atlanta. Guy. Yeah, real nice guy, man. I bumped into him in Atlanta maybe a couple years back, and he was just chilling. So shout out to him.
Yeah, he's solid guy. One of the most humble guys that ever played the game, man. He's a friend. We golfed a lot.
That's what's up, man. So let's take it to present day as we round out this interview. We talked a lot about the old guys, a lot of our heroes. Obviously, you are aware of the Oakley situation that happened at MSG. Real black eye for the organization. You had came out on behalf of Oak and kind of taking his side and kind of through the media. You said, if you were there, you probably would have helped him. You would have helped him out in the fray. What's your relationship like with the team right now? I know they had a celebration of that 99 team. Yeah. Were you called? Were you not called? Like, what happened with that?
Honestly, I have no idea why they didn't call. It was some rumbles that, a few guys were saying that I asked for something, which I didn't because I had no idea. I think it had a lot to do with me coming out and in support of Oakley. I'm the type of guy, whether it's my kids, my friends, my teammates, I'm with you, good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I'm saying? Right, wrong, or indifferent, doesn't matter. I'm your teammate. So when I saw that happen, I went into teammate mode and made the comment, if I was there, I probably went to jail. They would have kicked me out too because I'm going to support my teammate. It could have been Oak, Patrick. Yeah. It could have been the ball, Mike. It could have been the equipment manager, Mike Moore. Anybody that represent the Knicks, it could have been y'all. You know what I mean? Because one thing, we're a family. The Knicks is a family. Win, lose, whatever. So when I saw that, I went to teammate mode and like, that's my man. I got you. And it was heartbreaking to see, not to see a lot of other guys come to his defense. And it's kind of put a sour taste in, people's mouth because of that. Will we get over it? Hopefully. Will the Knicks get over it? I truly hope so because Oak has done so much for the team and the city. He was the heart and soul of every team he's ever played for. Yeah. So that says a lot about your character as a man.
Yeah.
So where we stand now, I have nothing against the Knicks organization. I talk to Steve Mills and John Starks all the time just to check in, how y'all doing, what's going on. And I'm going to always support the Knicks. Even though I got traded, it doesn't matter. That's where the legacy of Chris Childs started. So I'm going to always support the Knicks. Right. But as far as where we are today at this time, I have no idea. I still care and love everybody, wish them the best, but we have yet to come to any kind of justification why I wasn't invited. As a player that gave his all, and as a man,
should have been there.
Was I hurt? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't for me. It was more so for my kids. It was for the fans.
Right.
I haven't been back to New York to see people, the fans, and to interact. So it was more so a disappointment for them than myself.
True indeed, man, and you definitely deserve your ovation, your flowers from the Garden faithful. Hopefully, today's show will bring us closer to that moment, and hopefully, one of these days, the relationship will be repaired and restored, man, because we definitely
I'll come to a game anyway, and I'll bring my own flowers.
I hear that, man. What do you think about the current roster and the direction of the team now? It seems like after you were traded, after the captain was traded, I mean, things have gone downhill since. We only have 5 winning seasons since that time. It's been a tough haul. What do you think about the direction that the team is going in the current roster?
Well, I think they're going in the right direction. I think the coaches they brought in, he has that mentality to get the guys to understand their rules and to come together collectively as a group. I have no idea what happened with the Porzingis situation. I still am boggled how he was let go. But the kid that they got from Duke, he reminds me a little bit of Walter Berry. He don't have a scoring mentality of a Walter Berry, but he has a little bit of his game. It might be because he's left-handed or whatnot, but I think that's going in the right direction. I like Knox's game.
Okay.
I think he needs to, mix it up, not just be a three-point shooter, but, a driver, a creator, and things of that nature. And I saw a few guys in the summer league that look like they can, play. And then all Smith has to do is start studying the point guard position because he's more of a combo guard and a scorer, and that's fine. But he plays like Stevie Franchise, too.
Yeah, that was my comparison of Dennis Smith Jr. Steve Francis, for sure.
They play the same, and Stevie was a combo guard, and they play similar styles. But if Stevie would have studied the point guard position of how to be a point guard, how to direct and get people in position, because you can always get your points as a point guard because you have the ball. But get your other guys involved early so they'll have confidence late in the game when you need them in the fourth quarter. So once he understands that, I mean, his greatness is up to him because he's an excellent player.
That's interesting. It's going to be a big year for Dennis Smith Jr., man, going into his third
year. He got to step up. He has to step up and take control because everybody can't play in New York, man. Because I remember, man, I hit a winning bucket one week and missed one the next week. They booed me for a month. But I was cool with that because I wasn't playing good enough, so I deserved to be booed.
Right. Keep you on your toes,
I'll take it as it comes.
Keep you on your toes. That's how the Garden faithful is, man. Hopefully we can get back to those days, and I hope we can protect home court, man. That's one of the things, and I'm sure that has to irk you too, Chris, is the fact that no matter who we get, you have guys that always come in and they say, we want to be the 90's Knicks, we want to bring the physicality, we want to be tough, we want to protect home court, and then we just come in and it's like the guys that come into the Garden to play us, they have no respect for us. They have no, fear of us. They just want to come in and get their highlights so that they can be on Instagram and this, that, and the third. How you feel about that?
See, the era is different. Guys are too nice.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got there and I played Mike, and I said, I can curse. Can I say damn?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be damned if he get 55 on me. I'll foul out before you get 55. That's just the mentality that guys have to have.
No easy buckets, man.
No, protect home court. They have to have the mentality not in our house. When guys come in there and get cheered more than the home team, there's a problem.
Right.
So the fans are like, well, we go cheer for the ones that's playing the hardest. When LeBron coming in there and Curry, I know Curry, I've known him since he was 5 or 6 when I was playing in Toronto with his dad, Dale. You guys can't come in here putting on a show.
Yeah.
That ain't happening. You can go to a show on Broadway.
right.
But you can't put on a show in the Garden.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's just, that has to be the mentality. So hopefully, Coach and everybody can bring that back. But I also think they should bring back some of the players that played and put them on the staff so they can show them and educate them on the way the game is played.
Interesting. Interesting. And I agree. It's funny. We should. They don't utilize Clyde enough. I don't feel like. They don't bring the captain in. Patrick Ewing, yes, he went to Georgetown. A lot of people argue that he should have been given the opportunity to be a part of the staff. You have Starks there working with the organization. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But they got the guys that are there doing community service work, which is cool, which is needed.
Right.
But you need some of those guys in those locker rooms during the tough time and tense times to let the guys know, I understand what you're going through. I've been there.
Right.
So hopefully that changes. But they're going in the right direction, and man, I can't wait to see that guard pumped again and supporting the guys, and then the guys feeding off of that and giving it back to the fans.
True indeed. I agree with you, man. Just a couple more questions. You did say the game has changed. I definitely agree with you on that. Is there any player in the league right now that kind of reminds you of yourself, or kind of just reminds you of, that play from back in the day, that never back down mentality, always play tough, always play physical, and bringing it 100%?
I mean, off the top, probably Patrick Beverly with his crazy self.
Yeah.
He don't care, and I like that, because we weren't the most, talented, highest jumping, quickest, whatever, but we had the mentality that you will not outwork me. And that's what the game is missing. You got everybody that wants to score 30. We need guys to do the dirty work and let the guys know that you're not gonna do that. Not tonight. So, I love watching Westbrook play. I saw him in college and knew that he was gonna come to the league and cause havoc because of his intensity. I like the kid out of Utah, Mitchell.
Spider. Yep.
Yeah, he comes and gets busy. I like the European kid at Dallas.
Luka Doncic.
He come out there like, okay, I'm giving you buckets. There's a lot of good young talent out there right now that can play the game, but the superstars are the superstars. What makes the team are the other pieces of the puzzle.
Right. Supporting cast.
So those guys that are the 6th, 7th, and 8th man, 9th, and 10th man, those guys are the key. But if they're thinking they can come in and score 20, they got guys, they pay a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
True indeed, man. Well said. Final 2 questions, Chris. And once again, man, we appreciate you for coming on with us. For the young kids out there that, they grew up after this era, they never saw you play. How would you want to be remembered? If a young kid came up to somebody on the streets and said, who was Chris Childs, what would you want that person to say?
That he was a guy that persevered through a lot of ups and downs, through coming through the CBA. But when he got to the league, he left it on the floor every night. You didn't get cheated when you came to see him play. That's all that matters. My peers knew what I brought to the table every night. I remember Chauncey Billups telling me, man, I was hurt. He said, man, I wish you were playing tonight because you pushed me. As a player, that's all you care about and want to hear, especially a guy like myself, because that's what I prided myself on. I didn't cheat you in practice. I didn't cheat you into the game. I earned my check every night. And I gave the fans what they came to see, to pay their tickets, to watch guys that are professionals leave it out there on the floor. So that's all I ever want to be remembered as.
Well said, man. Well said. And finally, what's your message to the fans out there? What's Chris Childs' message to the fans?
My message to the fans, NBA fans, New York fans, is just continue to support these guys. It's not easy. Knicks fans, you guys have been beyond patient with guys that played before, the guys that are playing now. Continue to support. To the players that's playing now, don't cheat the fans. They're the ones that make us who we are. And I love each and every one of y'all. And I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing. We need more of this, because there's so much negativity out in the world. all I'm about is positivity these days. But if they get out of line, these things are still licensed to give you the business.
There it
Even
is,
at
man.
51.
There it is. There it is, man. And now, Chris, you said you going to the Boise State, Florida State game. Or did you call Charlie, or you just think
I didn't get. I tried to get a hold of him, but I was there. We left before the game was over to try to beat traffic because we got a hurricane coming. So I got to get home and take care of stuff. But yeah, I made it down there, man. It was good to see the guys and interact with the college kids, man. And I just wanted to make sure that I was available at 4 o'clock, to talk to you guys. But let me say one more thing before we go.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony should be in the league, man.
I was going to ask you that in the interest of time, but yeah, go ahead. What's your thoughts on Melo not being in the league right now?
It's sad, man, that out of all the players in the league, that he's not good enough to be on the roster. Carmelo's done a lot for the game of basketball. He can still go out there and give you 20. Give him a shot. You can't go wrong. He knows how to play the game. He's a veteran. They say that he's blackballed or whatever. I don't know, but I know there's something going on that he's not in the league. He didn't fit. I don't think Houston gave him a fair shake when he was there, because a lot of times you think guys are your friend, but there's guys out there that want your position too. So be careful of who you think are your friends when you play in this game, because every roster spot is open towards the end of your career. So if D-Wade can play and finish up at Miami, Knicks, bring him back. Give him his curtain call, because he deserves it, man. And I think he'll do a lot for the younger guys too, because now he's willing to teach. And I think Knox a benefit for having Carmelo there.
Interesting. We definitely agree with you on that, man. Carmelo should definitely be back in the league. I don't know what it is, but hopefully he'll be able to take his curtain call, whether it's with I like to see him with a contender. I'd like to see him try to get a ring. I'm not sure what's taking LeBron so long to pick up the phone, but hopefully it works out.
Like I said, friends and whatnot, and we don't know which way that organization is going, who's runs and who's doing what. Magic left, Genie, the other new GM they brought in, and then LeBron. LeBron has a lot of say with every team he plays for. So I don't know. Hopefully they get him down there because he definitely deserves to be in the league, and I don't think he's being treated fairly at all.
Facts, man. I agree with you, man. Well, Chris, hopefully we could do this again. Make sure you catch the replay when you get home. We had a real dope setup here for you. The fan base is in here commenting. We took a trip down memory lane. It was something, you gave us a lot of memories that we'll never forget, man. Obviously, we never accomplished our goals all the way. But as you said, you left it all out there on the line. You gave us our money's worth and blood, sweat, and tears, man. You gave it all to the Knicks and to the Knicks fan base. So like I said, man, we definitely appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Anytime if there's anything you guys need from me in the future, don't hesitate to reach out and get John on there so he can try to lie about that story.
yeah, we're going to try, man.
I got facts. You don't want me to pull out the receipt.
We're going to try, man. Chris, enjoy the weekend. Drive safely back home and be safe in the hurricane, man.
All right, fellas. Blessings, man.
Bless up, man. Thanks again, man.
All right. One love.
Oh, man.
Wow,
that was so good.
Give it up for Chris Childs, man. Give it up for Chris Childs, man. Everybody in the chat, put a number 1 up for Chris Childs, man.
Please.
Come on, man.
I just want my mic work.
Yeah, man. I had to. It's all good, man.
I know you had to take over. My mic's not working.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. Put a 1 up for Chris Childs, man. That was a great interview, man. Great interview, man.
That was really good. That was really good. I love how. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I think everybody can hear you. It's just we'll work on it. We'll work on it, man. Right. Like everything else, man. We'll work on it.
All right.
We'll work on it, man.
Yeah, I just like how genuine and real he was.
Yeah.
And I feel like his spirit is still in that 90's. I don't give a attitude, but I'm still gonna rock with you to the wheels fall off, man. I love that energy, man.
I love it. I loved it, man. I loved it. I mean, yo, he dropped some gems, man. Some gems.
God,
I mean,
so
yo, I wrote down so much, man. LJ. He said LJ was the glue guy. He said LJ sacrificed a lot. He had a lot to say about Jeff Van Gundy, really helping the guys turn it around in the 99 season. Tim Hardaway. He said Tim could have caught the 1-2s a couple times. He said he spared him, J. Ellis. He spared him.
spared your life.
He spared Tim
Only
Hardaway.
because he caught a case before and he didn't want to catch another one.
Facts. Oh man, that was great. Against MJ, he said when he went up against MJ, he said he saw him again on the court with Oak on the links on the golf course with Oak. He said, "Don't get it confused, man. You can still get it, man. You never got over that game, bro."
Still got it, man. He said he called him a liar too. He's like, he lied.
Yeah, he did. And you know what the funny thing is? He didn't mention it, but MJ put his finger in his face, man. So that could have got real ugly. So now I see why he really wanted to go after him.
Yeah, and I'm surprised because even when he was talking about the Kobe incident, he said, "I just want to tackle him." So he purposely aimed for his neck, CP.
Yeah, purposely.
Purposely for his neck, so he didn't.
He spared him.
This is what it takes to just hit the neck, 1-2, get out of there. And if you look at the video, he looked like a trained killer. Like the way he squared up, feet step planted on the ground, 1-2, bob weave. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's not.
He was in the pocket. He was in the pocket.
Yeah, he was in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't his first time.
It wasn't his first rodeo.
That was a seasoned vet.
Yeah.
Punching him twice in the neck.
Right in the pocket, man. He had Shaq right behind him, didn't even phase him.
It's like, hey, Shaq don't want this work.
Didn't even phase him.
Shaq don't want this work. Pat
wow. What
man.
a interview, man. He likes RJ. He has some good things to say about Knox. He says he needs to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
On the Melo front, he thinks Melo could help Knox, which was interesting. He thinks he wants to see Melo back on the Knicks. Seemed like that's how he was angling it.
I feel you. I know Melo definitely needs to be in the league. It's still kind of crazy that he's not.
Yeah.
I still feel like this roster, the way it's constructed, it'll be weird to have Melo on the Knicks.
Yeah.
Maybe next season, hopefully it'd be a better. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Like more roles defined. You know, we're not gonna need as much help. Some guys might not be here next season. Maybe there'll be a chance for that.
Yeah.
Who knows? I want to see Melo though on the Clippers or something.
I gotta see Melo on the team, man. Come on, man. This is Carmelo Anthony, man. Stop it, man. We're gonna get to Melo real quick. Shout out to everybody in the chats wherever you guys are watching from. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Hit that thumbs up button for Chris Childs, man. That was an outstanding interview, man.
Thumbs up, please.
Come on, man. This is what we do it for,
man.
man.
I was like, man.
Come on, man. Couple things. No calls because I got to run to a barbecue in a little bit, but I just kind of want to wrap on this, and then we'll talk about what's next. Who you guys want to see next? Which player do we need to get next? Leave a comment in the chat. Leave a comment on this video. Who's the next player you want to see on this series? We got to start naming this series, JLs. We'll figure out a name for it.
All right.
Yeah. His advice to DSJ: study film, study the point guards. Work on getting others involved because you know he can get buckets.
Yo, call again. Can we connect that, man? Let DSJ and Chris Childs talk about
Hey, well, he's got to get back into the Garden first. And he said, there was some cross communication on what happened during that 9-8, 9-9 celebration of that team. He thinks it's because of his stance on Oakley. He's probably right. He's probably right.
Yeah.
You know.
Possibly. I mean, hopefully all that stuff gets swept under the rug eventually, man. We need to have our legends back in the Garden, man. We need Oak. We need Childs. We need everybody here who's contributed to this culture, to the family, the Knicks back in the graces for the fans.
For the fans, man. It's true. True indeed. And he was right, man. We got to get more of these players involved with the team. I don't understand why that hasn't happened. I know Starks, for one, did say he doesn't want any parts with coaching. He did say that. Yeah, I did hear him directly from his mouth. He said that. And hopefully if we get him on the show, we'll talk to him. Chris, go ahead.
Now, I will say I do like how the Knicks started to kind of bring players in last season for practices.
Yeah.
That was a good first step for us, like having Walton and having, Rasheed Wallace. And, Patrick Ewing in the beginning of the season, but it'll be cool to have somebody there like more frequently. But that was a nice first step.
Absolutely. He said his message to the players: don't cheat the fans. That was real. Don't cheat the fans. He said Patrick Beverley was a player that most reminded him of himself or of that playing style of the 90s. We definitely agree with that.
Oh, man. I feel like everybody would say that.
Definitely agree with that. Some of the other guards he likes in the league: Luka Doncic, Spider Mitchell, Westbrook.
Yep. Westbrook.
Yep. He said Chauncey Billups was a player that said that he always pushed him. That was real. Chauncey, shout out to Chauncey. He was a great player.
Yeah, he was a great player too.
Great player, man.
He was healthy.
Yeah.
When Staten was there. Another level easy.
Would have been a different story. Man. Knicks Heat rivalries. He said the Heat was by far the bigger rival of the two. I definitely agree with that. The whole Riley's undertones and the storylines. I mean, it got us. Yeah, I was telling you, it got us emotionally involved in it.
Yeah, man. Like,
you know, to this day, I still can't. I can't respect Miami Heat to this day.
I just see Trader every time I look at the Heat.
I'm telling you, to this day, I cannot respect it, man. I cannot respect it, man.
I feel you.
Crazy, man.
And it's crazy because when he came here, I feel like he came here after Pat Riley left.
He did. Mm-hmm.
And he still kind of felt the heat from the past players over here.
Yeah.
Who had that,
yep.
You know, like don't like him. Bye.
They immersed themselves in the rivalry. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Wow. Shout out to everybody in the chat watching once again. I showed you guys a picture of Chris rocking the Kobe shirt. I'm also wearing it myself. Shout out my guy Tuck, man. My guy Tuck sent me the shirt in my lifetime tees. A lot of you guys in the chat said you had liked the tees. My guy Tuck sent me the link. It's in my video description. Hit the link in the video description to get your tees, and that's courtesy of In My Lifetime. They sent it to Chris. Chris is endorsing it. He loved it, and he took a picture of it and threw it up on his gram. So the link is in the video description below. If you want the t-shirt, you can get yours today. Shout out to Tuck and In My Lifetime tees.
Somebody said they want Charlie Ward on.
Charlie Ward? Okay. I see a lot of Starks. I did see Eddie Curry and Jerome James. TM, thanks for posting the link. TMs did post the link to the shirt, so appreciate that. That was great, man. I'm still buzzing off that interview, man. That was great.
That was amazing. Yeah. Like, yeah, I was watching it like, wow, this is happening.
Yeah. And in all fairness, bro, and to you guys watching, the original interview was intended to be a video interview. This is why I'm showing you guys the screen that we have set up. The middle screen was meant to be Chris on video. But he hit me up last night, said he was going to be traveling on the road. So you always got to adjust when you're doing these things live, like I always say. So we did it audio, and I think it came out great. I mean, you guys in the chat, let us know what you think, and let us know after this live stream goes off.
Yeah, it was a good compromise.
I think it was a good compromise, man.
Yo, man, like, when you grew up a Knicks fan, like, dude, you think you was 10 years old, watching the Knicks 11, 12, that you will be like 20, 30 interviewing Chris Childs?
Never thought of it in my entire life, bro. Never thought of it in my entire life, man.
This is nuts. And then talking about all the past stuff that happened and like the in-between, the nitty-gritty details of this beef and this relationship. And that is like, what?
I got to watch this again, man. I'm not going to
lie. This is weird.
It's crazy. It's crazy,
weird
man.
Being a fan of your whole life, and then being in the interview. Yeah. Even if your mic ain't working. It's
crazy. It really is crazy. Even when I was like putting the highlights together, I'm watching all this for like it was the first time getting goosebumps. Like, I don't think I stopped smiling for the first 10 minutes of this interview when he was just recapping memories, because it was kind of like I was putting myself back in that place as a kid. Like, wow, I remember how I felt when this and this and this was going down. It was crazy, man.
And it was cool. It was like, and he was so like, shout out to the Brooklyn Fire.
Yep. That's all good luck. Yeah. That's all good luck for the day.
And he was like mad real though. It was like mad. You can tell it was all from the gut.
Yeah.
From the heart, yo.
Definitely from the heart, man. That was a solid interview, man. And once again, we appreciate Chris Childs for the time. Thanks again for everybody for watching, man. This was really good. Couple things real quick. Like I said, I want to get to the calls, but I got to run to a barbecue, so I don't really have time to take the calls. Me and Jay Ellis and Terry had a solid session live from the KnicksFanTV studio in downtown New York City. We're going to put that content up for next week as we gear up for training camp. We're less than a month away from training camp. Things are going to start happening very quickly. So look out for that content. We're getting ready to gear up. We'll have some more live streams coming up. Get to talk to you guys and as we get ready for the 2019-2020 campaign. Mm-hmm. Some other news, Jay Ellis. FIBA World Championships start tomorrow officially. Official tissue. And all eyes will be on, well, for me at least, it's going to be on Frank and Team France. See how they do. They are in Group G with Germany, Dominican Republic, and Jordan. So as we know, France is coming in there with the French Prince, Nicolas Batum, Rudy Gobert, my guy from Orlando.
Is that going to be on the ESPN app?
I'm not sure what channel. We'll put it up. I'll put it up in the community tab, let you guys know. Obviously, I'll have the highlights from that game as well. And, we just want to see how Frank is doing. We want to see how Frank is doing. I'm hearing that he's supposed to be starting in these games. So Germany's going to be Dennis Schroeder is going to be playing for Germany. So that should be an interesting matchup. Obviously, Germany doesn't have Dirk anymore. But Schroeder versus Frank should be an interesting matchup. JL's any interest in the USA team?
I'm
not really interested.
You know what it is? It's lost its luster a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, I was really, really interested to see if Julius Randle was still going to play like how
yeah.
I'll peek my head in.
Everybody left, man. Everybody left, But I think the competition, having more competition in these games is not a bad thing. So I'd like to actually see them come up in close games and see them, go up against some adversity and see how they respond. Serbia's going to be a beast. They got Jokic. They got Bogdanovic. They have Boban. Serbia got a nasty squad, man. Real nasty squad. I think they're considered the favorites right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. USA is going to have to fight this season.
You're going to have to fight, man. Going to have to fight. In other news, we saw Melo and Julius going one-on-one in the gym. What was your reaction to these highlights, JLs?
It was dope. I like the teacher Melo, man.
Yeah, I like it.
Videos of him teaching his son the game.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see him doing the same for Randall. Hopefully he picks some of that scoring acumen up and he brings it this season. And I fully expect him to take advantage of everything he's learned from Melo and just build on what he's been doing with the Pelicans and with the Lakers and show us what he got this season, man.
Facts. One thing, what you're noticing with Randall in these workout videos, and these workout videos, I see a lot of people like always comment on the posts on my workout video posts like, this means nothing. They're not playing defense. Yes, Captain Obvious. We know that. But the fact remains is that, one, there's no highlights to show. There's no season. And number two is just to get hype. Just to get hype for the season, man. Show these guys working out. One thing with Randall, is clear that he's working on his mid-range and beyond.
Yeah.
Which I think is solid. He's working on his weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't shoot that many from beyond, I believe, like 12 feet and beyond. So he's working on that. We saw him get his three-point percentage up from last year. Hopefully he takes another couple points up this year.
Yeah. It's obvious everything has like a focus to it. You haven't really seen him doing back to the basket drills.
Right.
And even in the pickup games, you've seen him pulling up from three most of the time.
Yeah. I think that's excellent. Man. He's really trying to round out his game. So hopefully that translates on the season. Listen, man, I'm still Team Melo. Kind of watching this kind of got me kind of sentimental too, man. It was like, damn.
It did, man.
Didn't it?
Definitely. It did. Pulled the heartstrings loose.
I was like, damn, boy, how you got this guy out here training now?
Yeah. Like he's a trainer. He's more than a trainer. It's dope that he's a trainer.
They turned him into the trainer.
You can still put him up. But I also appreciate that I also appreciate that he's just running with the team in general, man.
Yeah, I like
You know,
that.
this is what we caught on film, but I imagine that he kind of worked out with a bunch of those guys, and not just random.
I agree, man. I agree. So, the melodrama continues. We'll see what happens, man. But JLs, let's get out of here. Go ahead and sign off.
Oh man, I see you. Allen Houston will be the last of my favorite player.
Yeah.
Allen, yeah, man. So yeah, man. So shout out to shout out Chris Child, man.
Also, shout out Chris Child, man.
My show is on a hiatus. We will be back in mid October, late September-ish. So stay tuned for that. It's the Nick of Time Show on SoundCloud.com/Nick of Time Show. And you can also watch the video versions of our podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/Nick of Time Show. Also merch. I was supposed to have the store set up today, but I'm hopefully be up within a few days. That's the Nick of Time Show.com. Click the store and you'll see all this beautiful merch right there in the store. You'll see that Block Finesse Monster. The new store will have the updated number right there. It won't be 26 or 23. And some new RJ merch. Definitely check out for that. And also follow me on all social media. Links are in the bio, in my description. That is all. Back to you, CP.
Appreciate you, my dude. Thanks a lot, Jay Ellis, man. And let me get to my screen. Here we go. Appreciate you, man. Great job, man. And hey, salute to everybody watching, man. Big thank you. Special thank you to Chris Childs for making this interview great for us. Salute to everybody watching on this Saturday. Happy Labor Day weekend to those of you in the U.S. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Be safe. We're ramping up. Training camp is on the way. We got some fresh content coming. May have another guest on the way. We're working on it. Let us know what you guys thought about this interview. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Big shout out Alex Collins, back from Ireland. Shout out Alex Rockman So Blue. Looks like you're new in here. Shout out Ayo Pal, Keith Sinclair, some of the regulars. CP the artist in here. Cadillac Music Group, I appreciate it. Sammy Soso, what's going on? KnicksFanTV Dave, thanks for your help. Great job as usual. Who else you want to shout out, JLs?
Oh man, shout out, man. Much love to the chat, man. Shout out Shells. Shout out Ricardo Custer, Gil Humphreys, man. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to Gene Blue. Shout out to Multi Apples. Shout out to the whole chat.
Teddy.
State of New York, man, always gonna be out. Edward Sterling. Go ahead, man. Sorry,
TM. No, go ahead. I was just going in and out like Styles P and Jadakiss. You know what I mean? TM, appreciate it. Teddy, appreciate it. Man, what a show, Jay Ellis. Garth Bolin, appreciate it. Everybody with the hashtag, leave a hashtag new if you guys are new. And we'll definitely shout you guys out. Thanks again for everybody for joining us. Man, what a day. Danny Girl back in here. What's up, Danny Girl? We see Danny's in here. Danny's in here. Alex Collins JL said, what is Labor Day anyway? It's a day to take off.
It's a holiday where we don't gotta go to work.
It means no work. That's why we cutting the show, man. But we'll be back, like I said, better than ever. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because this is the home for you. And we'll see you guys later, man. Have a great one. Peace.